Hi, my name is Debbie, and I introduced my collection of original designs in part 1 and part 2, and today I will be showing you how to make this bracelet right here, which I referred to as 2T in part 1 of my original designs. I showed this to my 10-year-old daughter, and she decided to call it Inchworm. So Inchworm it shall be. This will be using 2 bars set up in a parallel design. You'll need your hook, and I like to keep a thin crochet hook on hand, using the thin end to take my design off if it's tight. And I will be using all jellies, pink, lime green, and red. And of course, you'll need your little clasp to hold it all together at the end. So we will start out by placing a pink band across like this. This will be the first loop in my extension. I do mine a little differently, and in this design I'm placing the first band of the extension right there, and then we will be placing the same color on either side. Then we will place green on the diagonal, and then we will take the third color, and I like to wrap it around and do it like this. Some of you may prefer to double it over like this, although I find that gets the band fairly twisted. So I will be doing it like this, and you place one end over, put your thumb on top to hold it, and then carefully pull it over the other peg. So then we will go on to place 2 more pinks. Oops, sorry about that. This time we will place the green in the opposite direction, eventually creating a zigzag as we go up the loom. Again, we will twist once, grab a hold of it, place the one end over, and the other like that. Place 2 more pink bands, 1 on each side, and place your green, your second color, on the diagonal going from right to left. And once again, I will show you. Wrap around once, take a hold of it, place it over, and then pull it over. And I don't know if you can see, you probably notice on your own, they seem to lie a little less twisted than if you do it by hand. Now I will take a break and work on my loom while you work on yours, and it's the same thing over and over again, just remembering to change the direction with your second color as you go up. When you get the final red band over on the second to the last set of pins, stop there and I will join you again. Welcome back. So your loom should look like this. And I stopped right here. From the side, it should look like this. Okay. For the last set of post, put the 2 green, oops, sorry about that, the 2 pink, 1 on each side, and the final diagonal going here, and then using color A, which is the color I want to use for my end cap and extension, you double it. And now, oh, sorry, I should probably show that again. I apologize, this being my first demonstration. I need to, let's see, that's how it works for me. And for those who just want to double twist, stretch, double twist, stretch, and place over like that, that's probably easier. Okay. Now, before I go and loop this back, I want to show you something. As you can see, I'm showing this one because you can see the colors better. The way I place my bands is why I have the little crowns like that. If you were to place just color A and color B, like do the pink, the green, then do 2 pink, then the green, the 2 pink, and then the green, and loop it back the same way as I'm going to show, you come up with this design. It looks like this. Completely different, just because of the band placement. Now, if you were to load the loom the traditional way, where I put the base here and then put all of color A up to the end and all of color A up on this side, and then place the diagonals, and then thirdly place the cap, the double bands on top, you come up with this design, which, as best as I can tell, looks pretty much identical to this one. I studied it and I really don't see any discernible difference. So that is why I have chosen to load my loom this way. Now we will turn it around, and I'm sorry I didn't explain before, but you should know if you've done any of these before, when you load your bands, you have the little, I say the smiley face, and the airward arrows, which you can't see on this one because I don't have one of the red ones, but they're in the clear. The arrows point that way. And so when you turn it around, you have the frown. And you start by coming under the cap and taking color B back to the diagonal, and then you go up with each side. Then you take that one out, place it, and then the 2 sides. Now I imagine if I know if I had looped these back differently. On the other two examples I showed you, you'd probably have a completely different, like if you went and looped back all the B colors, which is the green here, and then saved all the A color, which is pink here, to the end, that probably would make a little bit different design too. But anyways, back to this one, we're going to be doing the same thing all the way up. Reach under, grab the band on top, which is the green, and then follow it with the two pinks. There we go. Okay, and this is how it should look as you go up, and I will be back to show you how I place my extension bands on. See you in a few. Okay. The looped loom should look like this. And now I will show you how I go about making my extensions. On some of the designs, when I could take advantage, I have the first extension is this band we placed first. So I reach under and I grab it and pull it out, and I hold it while I grab this one, and then I gently place it like that. And then without too much tension, not pulling them up like this, keeping it down, I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist. So I use a total of 8 bands for my extension. This being one, this being the second. I'm not doing this so good. Oh, I'm losing it. Oh, bad example. So I'm just going to reach in here and do my best to grab that little guy. I'll show you a mistake. Okay, a little problem here because I'm in backwards. So I'm going to pull that, put that back on, put that back on. I used to do this by hand, but I'm trying to be more professional and use. So you turn it around, pull it through both. And then this is number 3. Number 4. Now I like my little clasp to be in the center of my under wrist, so I only do half. So like I said, for my small wrist I used a total of 8. The 1, 2, 3, 4. And I just hold it stretched, pop on the clasp, or I don't. Okay, here we go by hand, the hand way. And I'm going to slip that through and pop it on. Oh, you got to see 2 mistakes corrected here. Okay. Now, I like to use the simple crochet hook, the smooth end, to take off the bands, especially when they're tight. Simply, you just reach in and pull them out. I mean, you can do it with a hooked end, although the hook generally you have to kind of fight it out. So you can either try, with pulling it all off like most demonstrate. You can try to use your fingers, which I find clumsy. So again, I do, and then we go back on this side and take these off, which they come off, oops, much easier, more easily. And there you have your bracelet. Now for the second part, using the cap from this end, I count this as number 1, so I'll be placing 1 with the frowns towards me, 2, and 3. And then you stretch the cap, place it over that post, and then you just, like you're doing a single bracelet. And then holding this finger so it doesn't pop off, I reach around, hold the clasp like that, stretch this, and slip on. There you have it. Now, to make these so they're like together and not spread apart, like some of these are spread apart right here, if you want a neater look, you just grab this and just twist it around until they look a little neater. Here's another one. Just play around with it, and there you have it. I'm sorry if that went out of focus. And if you had trouble following me, I'm sorry I didn't go quite step by step like some of the other demonstrations. If you are a first-time loomer, you might want to check out the official rainbowloom.com videos, and they very slowly and carefully go through every step, which I have missed some, and come back and try making my cute little inchworm bracelet. Thank you so very much for checking my first design out. This is Inchworm 2T from my introduction part 1. Have a great day. Bye-bye.